We spend so much time talking about romantic relationships and family, but those incredible bonds we forge outside of all that friendships, they often feel like this assumed part of life.
Yeah.
But when you really pause and consider, aren't these the connections that can truly, well, define our journey?
Absolutely. And that's precisely what we wanted to explore with you today. Not just those, surface level acquaintances, but the friendships that genuinely nourish us, the ones that kind of carve grooves into who we become.
Right. So think for a moment. Is there someone, maybe a couple of people you simply can't imagine life without? The person who understands the unspoken, who sees right through the surface. Got that person in mind. Because that's the kind of friendship we're diving into.
Exactly. We're going to unpack why these connections have such a profound impact, how they tangibly affect our mental and emotional well-being, and what are those less obvious elements that allow some friendships to really stand the test of time.
Okay, let's unpack this. When we say friends, what are we really talking about? I mean, we all have people we know, folks we chat with. But what's the leap from that to a true deep friendship?
Yeah, what's fascinating here is that move from casual acquaintance to what feels like, well, a genuine soul connection. True friendship, at its core, it hinges on a deep level of understanding, a trust that feels unbreakable, and a fundamental sense of being accepted for exactly who you are. It's about that feeling of being seen, truly seen, flaws and all.
It's that feeling of a safe harbor, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where you can drop all the pretenses and just be completely yourself, even the parts you might usually keep hidden.
Precisely. Psychologically, these friends offer incredible validation. There's a profound comfort in feeling truly known, safe enough to be vulnerable without any fear of judgment. You often find you don't even need to fully articulate things because they get it.
Yeah. And emotionally, they act like these incredible mirrors, reflecting back your strengths when you're clouded with self-doubt, offering a fresh perspective when you're kind of caught in your own narrative.
Exactly. And when life throws those inevitable curveballs, it's often their presence, more than any quick fix advice, that provides the real anchor. They create that emotional safety net, a space to simply be in the midst of difficulty.
But it's not just about comfort, is it? I mean, the really good ones also hold us accountable. They're the ones who will gently point out when we might be veering off course or cheer us on to step outside our comfort zones, always with our best interests at heart.
That's right. It's growth propelled by genuine care. They challenge us, but from a place of love and support. And what's remarkable is that the depth of this connection isn't always about years clocked together. You can forge a friendship that feels like a lifetime in a relatively short amount of time.
Which is so true. Some of the most significant connections I have are with people I haven't known for ages. It's the intensity of that understanding that really matters.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these friendships truly do contribute to shaping our very identities. They influence how we view ourselves, how we approach intimacy, and even how we navigate healing from life's inevitable hurts. They're more than just companions, they're vital for our emotional resilience. As humans, we are fundamentally wired for this level of connection.
It's almost like an essential life support system, isn't it? Especially when you consider that it doesn't demand perfection. You don't need to have everything sorted to be a good friend or to have good ones.
Exactly. It's about presence, that willingness to show up, to be open and authentic. And, as some research suggests, friendship is often built in those seemingly small, consistent moments. A random text, an inside joke shared, a quiet check-in. It's the accumulation of those little things done with genuine care.
And when you distill it all down, what do these deep friendships truly offer us at their core?
Well, what's fascinating here is that at the deepest level, friends help us feel truly alive. They act as anchors to our authentic selves when the world tries to pull us in different directions. They're there through all the personal evolutions and discoveries, and ultimately they remind us that we are inherently valuable, not just for what we do, but simply for who we are.
Beautifully put. One source you shared even described friends as the rhythm in our everyday lives, a clear and constant expression of love. That really resonates.
It does. True friendship is this incredible force with the power to heal, to strengthen, and to fundamentally reshape us for the better.
So having close friends feels good, we all know that. But is there something deeper going on? Is there an actual biological basis for why we crave and thrive on these connections?
Absolutely. The science behind friendship is quite compelling. Our brains and bodies are indeed wired for connection. Consider oxytocin, often called the love hormone. Simple interactions with friends, like spending quality time together, a hug, or even just sharing laughter, can trigger its release. And oxytocin does more than just make us feel good. It plays a crucial role in reducing stress and enhancing feelings of trust and closeness, which strengthens those social bonds. In fact, some studies have shown a measurable increase in trust levels after oxytocin is released.
So it's like our bodies are giving us a little reward for connecting with our friends, a biological thumbs up.
In a way, yes, and it extends beyond that. Friendship also helps regulate our stress response. Research has demonstrated that being in the company of close friends can lower levels of cortisol, that well-known stress hormone. Strong social ties act as a biological buffer, contributing to a greater sense of safety and grounding.
That makes perfect sense. I've always noticed feeling a sense of calm wash over me after spending time with close friends, even if I was feeling, overwhelmed beforehand.
And there's compelling research to support that. A study at the University of Virginia utilized MRI scans to examine how the presence of a friend impacted the brain's response to potential threats. The findings were remarkable. When a close friend was nearby, the brain's fear response actually diminished, effectively making the perceived threat feel more manageable.
Wow. So literally just having a friend present can make something scary feel less so on a neurological level. That's wild.
Precisely. And this biological impact translates into tangible, real-world health benefits. A comprehensive meta-analysis, which is a powerful statistical review combining data from many different studies, found that individuals with strong social relationships have a significantly higher chance of survival, around 50% greater.
50%.
50% greater, regardless of other factors like age or lifestyle choices such as smoking or exercise. That's a really powerful statistic.
That's incredible. It really reframes how we should prioritize friendship in our lives, doesn't it? It's not just
Yeah,
nice to have.
it really does. Psychologically, friendship addresses our fundamental need for belonging. Feeling accepted and valued by others contributes to a more positive self-image, greater resilience in the face of adversity, and lower rates of both depression and anxiety. Friends provide a vital outlet for processing difficult emotions and challenging negative self-talk.
And it's a potent antidote to something that seems to be increasingly affecting people: loneliness.
Exactly. Loneliness isn't just a feeling of sadness, it carries significant negative health consequences, including links to inflammation, increased risk of heart disease, a weakened immune system, and even cognitive decline. Meaningful connections through friendship actively combat this by fostering a sense of purpose and improving overall well-being.
It's almost as if our brains are specifically designed to seek out and reward these social connections. Like we get a little dopamine hit.
They are. Studies employing fMRI scans, that's the neuroimaging technique that lets us see brain activity, have shown that viewing the face of a close friend activates the brain's reward system, particularly areas like the ventral striatum, in a manner very similar to the pleasure we experience from food or music. Our brains recognize friendship as something deeply enjoyable and, well, essential for our survival and well-being.
And who can overlook the sheer joy of sharing laughter with a good friend? It's always such a mood booster, just instant relief sometimes.
It is, and there's a biological reason for that too. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins, which have mood-boosting and pain-relieving effects, and it also strengthens social bonds. Research has even indicated that people who laugh together tend to develop higher levels of trust and cooperation.
And that idea of emotional contagion, the way our emotions can be influenced by those around us, that must also play a significant role in the benefits of friendship, right?
Absolutely. Being around positive and supportive friends can elevate our own mood through what are called mirror neurons in the brain. These neurons help us to emotionally sync with those we're close to, so we literally start to feel some of the positive emotions they're experiencing. Think about when a friend is genuinely excited about something, their energy can be infectious, and you start feeling more upbeat too. That's partly due to emotional contagion facilitated by these mirror neurons.
It's incredible how deep the impact goes, from fostering healthy social and emotional development in childhood to helping maintain cognitive function and reducing isolation in older adults. Friendship seems to be a consistently vital ingredient throughout life.
It truly is. Friendship isn't just a pleasant addition to life. It's a fundamental human need that impacts us neurologically, emotionally, and physically. Investing in meaningful connections isn't just about feeling good in the short term. It's an investment in a healthier, happier, and more fulfilled life over the long haul.
We've established what friends are and the compelling science behind why they're so crucial. But I think it's worth delving deeper into why friends often matter more than we consciously acknowledge in our busy lives.
That's a crucial point. It's not solely about the number of connections we have or even strictly about who we spend our time with, but rather the quality of those friendships that truly makes the most significant difference.
Right. When those truly tough times hit loss, disappointment, fear, who is it that really pulls you through?
Yeah.
It's so often those friends who offer that unwavering emotional support.
Exactly. Friends provide a safe and non-judgmental space to vent our deepest fears, disappointments, and frustrations. It's the simple act of being heard and truly understood that can be incredibly stabilizing during difficult periods. Often, it's just their presence, that feeling of not being alone in the struggle, that makes the burden feel noticeably lighter.
And then there's that incredible boost of confidence you get from having friends who genuinely believe in your potential. Sometimes more than you believe in yourself.
Absolutely. They're the ones who actively cheer us on, enthusiastically celebrate our successes, and encourage us to take risks we might otherwise avoid. Their belief in us can be a powerful catalyst, reminding us of our inherent worth and fueling us to pursue our goals with greater conviction.
And let's not forget the incredibly strong glue of shared memories and experiences. That's what binds so many friendships together in such a unique way, isn't it?
It is. Those inside jokes, the spontaneous adventures, the late-night heart-to-hearts, they weave an intricate emotional history, a unique tapestry of moments that inextricably links us. Shared challenges overcome and joyful occasions celebrated become significant pillars of the friendship. And it's often in reminiscing about these shared experiences that the bond is reaffirmed and deepened.
And those shared memories aren't just pleasant to look back on, are they? They can actually provide real comfort and a sense of perspective when we're facing new difficulties. Like, we got through that, we can get through this.
Precisely. Recalling past joys and accomplishments with a friend can be incredibly comforting during challenging times, reminding us that positive experiences have been a part of our lives and can be again. And the very act of engaging in shared activities together triggers the release of those feel-good endorphins, further strengthening those crucial friendship bonds over time.
It's like having someone who has witnessed various chapters of your life, offering this incredible emotional stability as we ourselves are constantly evolving and changing. They're a living history.
That's a beautiful way to articulate it. Friends offer a unique lens through which we can view our own growth. They've seen our transformations firsthand and can offer invaluable perspective on just how far we've come.
It really boils down to friends offering something truly irreplaceable, doesn't it? They help us grow, heal, and evolve in ways that other types of relationships sometimes simply can't.
Exactly. True friendship is this beautiful, continuous cycle of mutual support, genuine affection, and shared experiences that enriches our lives in immeasurable ways.
It's clear that friends wield significant influence over our overall well-being, but I think it's particularly important to focus on the profound connection between these bonds and our mental health.
Absolutely. Our friendships function as a vital safeguard against feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and depression. As we touched on earlier with the science, these aren't just transient feelings, they have substantial and lasting impacts on our mental state.
Let's address loneliness first. It almost feels like a paradox in our hyper-connected world, yet it seems to be more prevalent than ever. So many studies point this out.
It is. Studies have revealed surprisingly high rates of loneliness across various demographics. One Cigna study found 61% of Americans reported feeling lonely. And the impact on health is significant, with some research even drawing comparisons to the health risks associated with smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It can lead to isolation, hopelessness. Friends actively counteract loneliness by fostering that essential sense of belonging and connection. Simply having someone with whom you can connect meaningfully can make a profound and positive difference.
And research has consistently shown a direct correlation between strong social networks and lower levels of that stress hormone, cortisol, right? Like that UC study.
Exactly. Friends provide reassurance, a willing ear to listen, and even just the shared experience of laughter, all of which contribute to reducing feelings of loneliness and its detrimental effects. It can even bolster our immune response during periods of stress.
And what about anxiety? That persistent feeling of worry and unease can be so debilitating for so many people.
Friends can serve as a real anchor in those anxious moments. The simple act of talking through anxieties with a trusted friend can provide immense relief. As we discussed, this act can even activate the brain's reward system, leading to the release of calming neurochemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, bringing a sense of calm.
That makes perfect sense. Just verbalizing those swirling, anxious thoughts to someone who understands can often diminish their power significantly. It gets it out of your head.
It can be truly transformative. And consider someone grappling with social anxiety. Having a supportive friend by their side in social situations can make those experiences feel far less overwhelming, allowing them to gradually navigate and potentially overcome their fears.
And then there's the heavy weight of depression. It can feel so incredibly isolating, like you're completely alone in it.
Absolutely. Friends offer crucial emotional support, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. Their encouragement to seek professional help, coupled with their consistent presence and care, can be incredibly powerful. Research in publications like the American Journal of Psychiatry has even highlighted the significant role of social support in reducing the severity of depressive symptoms and improving adherence to medication and therapy.
It's often that simple question, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
Asked by a friend who genuinely cares. That can be a vital lifeline in those moments of profound isolation. It breaks through the facade.
Precisely. And the simple joy derived from positive experiences shared with friends can be a significant mood elevator, actively reducing symptoms of depression. Even engaging in seemingly mundane activities together can have a surprisingly powerful impact. For example, a study from the University of Queensland showed that increased social interaction led to notable improvements in mental health.
And let's not overlook the crucial role friends can play in keeping us physically active. That physical activity is so intrinsically linked to our mental well-being.
It is. Exercising with a friend often makes it more enjoyable and far less of a solitary chore, which in turn helps to reduce stress levels and improve mental clarity. That shared motivation and accountability can be a real game changer. Makes it harder to skip that workout.
So it truly comes full circle. Friendship isn't just a pleasant add-on. It's a fundamental pillar of our mental health.
Right.
Essential for coping, healing, and growth.
Exactly. It genuinely makes life feel lighter and more manageable, an indispensable component of our overall well-being.
It's so interesting to reflect on how our friendships evolve as we navigate different stages of life. The friendships we formed as children feel so fundamentally different from the ones we cultivate as adults, don't they?
They really do. Childhood friendships are often defined by their sheer ease, aren't they? They tend to be rooted in shared experiences and the simple fact of proximity, who we played with in the neighborhood, who we sat next to in class. There's typically less emotional baggage involved, and the primary focus is often on fun, games, and play. Loyalty and trust at that age can feel almost unshakable and instinctively given.
Absolutely. It's that almost effortless connection built over shared games, imaginative play, or simply inhabiting the same space. You don't have to consciously work at it. It just naturally is. You just hang out.
However, adult friendships present a very different landscape. Life inevitably becomes more complex, time transforms into a highly valued commodity, and our personal priorities often undergo significant shifts. These evolving factors can make the development and maintenance of adult friendships more challenging.
The most significant difference, it seems, is that element of shared experience. It diminishes considerably as we grow older, We often scatter geographically due to careers, different cities, and pursuing distinct life paths. Maintaining those connections requires a far more conscious and deliberate effort. You
Yeah.
have to make it happen.
Exactly. Finding the time amidst the demands of work, family responsibilities, and other obligations can become a significant hurdle. While digital communication tools like social media and texting certainly help bridge distances, they often lack the richness and depth of sustained in-person interaction. It can feel impersonal sometimes.
And as we mature, our core values and interests can naturally diverge from those we once shared with childhood friends. It happens. People change.
Right. Adult friendships often coalesce around more deeply held values and current shared life experiences, such as career trajectories, navigating parenthood, or pursuing specific hobbies. That selectivity becomes increasingly pronounced as we age. As adults, we tend to become more discerning in our choices of friends, placing a higher value on qualities like deep trust, unwavering loyalty, and genuine mutual understanding. We might even consciously create distance from friendships that no longer align with our evolving values and sense of self.
But there are also unique and significant benefits that come with adult friendships, aren't there? We typically bring a greater degree of emotional maturity to these connections, which allows for deeper and more nuanced understanding.
Absolutely. We often possess a more developed understanding of the importance of mutual respect, effective communication, and consistent support. Our broader range of life experiences can also offer invaluable insights and guidance to one another as we navigate the inevitable challenges and triumphs of adulthood.
Adult friendships can also provide a unique sense of stability and understanding that might have been absent in the sometimes more volatile and less predictable friendships of our younger years, like a reliable sounding board.
Precisely. They offer a valuable sense of camaraderie as we navigate the often complex and multifaceted challenges of adulthood. And because adult friendships are frequently more intentional, consciously chosen based on shared values and overarching life goals, they can often evolve into more profoundly meaningful and enduring connections.
But that element of intentionality is truly key, isn't it? You have to actively make time, genuinely respect each other's evolving life circumstances, and consistently invest effort in nurturing those vital bonds. It takes work.
Exactly. While childhood friendships often flourished on the simple foundations of ease and proximity, adult friendships necessitate a more conscious and sustained investment of time and energy. However, the profound rewards of those deep, lasting adult connections, serving as invaluable sources of joy, strength, and unwavering support, are immeasurable. Worth the effort, definitely.
It's fascinating how we tend to gravitate towards certain personality types in our friendships. It's almost as if we need a well-rounded collection of friends to truly thrive and feel fully supported, a sort of friendship portfolio.
That's a very insightful observation, and it aligns with the idea that we all benefit from having a diverse range of friend types in our social circle. Think of them as fulfilling essential roles that contribute to a more complete and resilient support network.
So, who are some of these essential friend personalities that most of us could really benefit from having in our lives? What are the archetypes?
Okay, let's start with the listener. This is the friend who offers an unbiased, empathetic ear without any trace of judgment. They provide a consistently calming presence. They create a safe and confidential space for you to process your thoughts and emotions, no matter how messy they might feel. They're absolutely crucial for those times when you simply need to be heard and understood without interruption or unsolicited advice.
Oh, absolutely. That's the friend you can just unload everything on, and they're truly absorbing it, not just waiting for their turn to speak. It's such a profoundly comforting feeling. If you realize you don't have a dedicated listener in your close circle, it might be time to intentionally initiate a listener search, maybe.
Exactly. Next, we have the motivator. This is the friend who consistently pushes you gently beyond your perceived comfort zone, enthusiastically encourages you to pursue your goals, whether they're grand ambitions or smaller personal milestones, and genuinely believes in your capabilities, even in those moments when you might be wrestling with self-doubt. Their unwavering enthusiasm can be truly contagious and incredibly empowering.
Yes, that's your personal cheerleader, always there to remind you of your inherent potential and giving you that crucial nudge you need to finally take that leap of faith. They are absolutely invaluable for helping you overcome those nagging feelings of self-doubt and inaction.
Then there's the adventurer. This is the friend who frequently initiates spontaneous and novel experiences, injecting excitement, fun, and a welcome dose of unpredictability into your life. They help you break free from routine, step outside your familiar patterns, and create those unique and lasting memories that you'll cherish for years to come. They get you out of the house.
Ah, yes, the one who's always suggesting something a little bit unexpected, maybe even slightly outside your usual comfort zone, but it almost always ends up being an amazing and enriching experience. They definitely keep life from becoming monotonous, and they usually have your best interests at heart when suggesting these adventures, ensuring a reasonable degree of safety, right? They're not trying to get you into real trouble.
Precisely. They encourage exploration and new experiences while generally keeping things within the realm of mostly safe and responsible fun. And finally, we have the honest one. This is the friend who consistently offers you direct, truthful feedback, even when it might be difficult to hear in the moment. But they deliver it with genuine care and a deep-seated love for your well-being. They tell you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear.
Ah, yes, the unwavering truth teller. Sometimes their directness might sting a little initially, but ultimately they play a crucial role in helping you grow, gain clearer perspective, and stay grounded in reality. It's so incredibly important to truly embrace this type of friend. Their honesty, though sometimes challenging, is truly invaluable for your personal development. Don't shoot the messenger.
Exactly. It's important to remember that a single friend can often embody multiple of these valuable roles. It's not like boxes you have to tick off. The key takeaway is that these diverse types of friendships work together to help us stay grounded, keep moving forward towards our goals, experience joy and fun in life, and continuously strive to become our best selves.
So it's definitely worthwhile to reflect on the friendships we currently have, and perhaps even be more intentional about nurturing those that naturally fulfill these vital roles in our lives. Maybe step up our own friend game if needed.
Absolutely. And if, upon reflection, you recognize that you might be lacking one of these key friend types in your current circle, it could be a valuable endeavor to consciously seek out and cultivate those specific kinds of connections.
The ways in which we connect with our friends have been profoundly reshaped by technology. I mean, it's undeniable. We now have entire friendships that exist primarily within the digital realm. It really makes you contemplate the fundamental differences between friendships in the digital age and those more traditional, primarily in-person connections.
It's a really pertinent question for our times. We certainly observe a clear distinction between online friendships, which are primarily sustained through digital communication platforms, and offline friendships, which are fundamentally rooted in face-to-face interaction. The absence of physical presence is a key differentiating factor in online friendships, but as many can attest, that doesn't inherently diminish their potential for strength and significance. They can feel incredibly real.
Right. I personally know several people who feel an incredibly deep sense of connection with friends they've only ever interacted with online. Can those bonds truly achieve the same level of depth and meaning as in-person friendships?
Well, what's truly interesting is that in some aspects, the depth of online friendships can be surprisingly profound. Because there's often less immediate pressure to respond and less reliance on superficial small talk, online conversations can evolve into more thoughtful and deeply reflective exchanges. You have time to craft your responses. The perceived safety of physical distance can also, paradoxically, foster increased emotional vulnerability and a greater willingness to share more intimate details. Of course, as with any friendship, the ultimate depth is contingent on the level of investment, mutual respect, and intentionality that both individuals bring to the connection.
And a significant characteristic of online friendships is that they often form around very specific shared interests, isn't that right? Like highly niche hobbies or passionate involvement in online fandom communities,
Yeah.
things you might not find locally.
Exactly. This is a real strength and unique advantage of online connections. They possess the remarkable ability to connect individuals globally, effortlessly transcending geographical limitations, and provide a strong sense of belonging and validation within these shared interest communities that might be difficult to find locally. You find your tribe.
But there are definitely inherent limitations to online friendships as well, aren't there?
Mm.
You inevitably miss out on those crucial nonverbal cues, the comfort of physical touch like hugs, and the shared energy of in-person celebrations, or simply being in the same physical space. You can't quite replicate that vibe online.
Absolutely. The absence of physical presence is a significant limitation. Those rich nonverbal cues that significantly enhance in-person interactions are inherently absent online, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or a less complete understanding of emotional nuances. Tone is hard to read sometimes. There's also a potential risk of superficiality given the ease and convenience of digital communication, where interactions might remain at a more surface level if not consciously cultivated for depth.
So, can online friendships truly be as meaningful and impactful as their offline counterparts? That's the core question many people ponder. Is it real friendship?
The answer, it appears, is a nuanced and qualified yes. With a foundation of mutual trust, open and honest communication, and consistent reciprocal respect, deep and meaningful bonds are absolutely possible online. Modern technology readily facilitates regular contact through video calls and instant messaging, helping to bridge the physical distance. The fundamental takeaway is that the potential for meaningfulness ultimately rests on the individuals involved, their commitment to the friendship, and not solely on the mode of communication they primarily utilize. It's about the people.
It sounds like the traditional boundaries are becoming increasingly blurred. We often see friendships that begin online and then transition to in-person meetings or vice versa, creating a more integrated hybrid experience.
Precisely. We're witnessing a much more fluid and dynamic landscape of human connection. The most important principle remains to value all of our friendships, regardless of their initial origin or primary mode of communication. True friendships, whether they blossom over a shared cup of coffee or through a direct message, thrive on genuine connection, mutual respect, and consistent effort.
Shifting gears, on the less positive side of the spectrum, we need to talk about those relationships that can be genuinely detrimental, toxic friendships. It's so vital to develop the ability to recognize when a relationship that's supposed to be supportive is actually consistently undermining your overall well-being. It can be insidious.
Absolutely. Toxic friendships are characterized by a persistent pattern of negativity that leaves you feeling consistently drained, excessively criticized, or subtly, or not so subtly, manipulated. The warning signs can sometimes be insidious and easily overlooked, which makes these types of friendships particularly damaging over time.
What are some of those key red flags, those telltale signs that might indicate a friendship has crossed the line into toxic territory? What should people look out for?
Well, constant drama and conflict surrounding the friend is a significant indicator. If you consistently feel like you're walking on eggshells around them or find yourself entangled in their perpetual crises, that's a major warning sign. Also, be aware of one-sided effort in the relationship where you consistently feel like you are the only one initiating contact, offering support, or investing energy without any genuine reciprocation.
I've definitely experienced that before. It leaves you feeling incredibly undervalued and emotionally depleted,
Yeah,
like you're pouring into a leaky bucket.
exactly. Then there's the pattern of consistent criticism or negative comments, often masked as playful jokes or blunt honesty, that subtly chip away at your self-confidence and self-esteem over time. Little digs that add up. Also be particularly vigilant for manipulation or gaslighting, where the friend attempts to control your actions or emotions, makes you feel guilty, or even makes you doubt your own perception of reality. You're being too sensitive, that kind of thing.
That kind of manipulation can be incredibly disorienting and deeply damaging to your sense of self-worth and trust in your own judgment. It messes with your head.
It truly is. Other concerning signs include a noticeable lack of genuine support for your achievements or struggles, unless it somehow directly benefits them, and excessive jealousy and competition, where they consistently seem to be trying to one-up you or feel threatened by your successes and happiness. They can't just be happy for you.
So you've recognized the presence of a toxic friendship in your life. What's the incredibly difficult next step? Letting go. How do you actually do that?
It can be exceptionally challenging, especially with friendships that have a long history, but it is absolutely crucial for protecting your emotional and mental well-being. The initial step is to acknowledge and validate your own feelings. That sense of exhaustion, persistent anxiety, or deep hurt you're experiencing are all valid indicators that something is wrong. Trust your gut. You might then attempt to set clear boundaries in the relationship, limit time together, avoid certain topics, state what's unacceptable. Although in truly toxic friendships, these attempts are often met with resistance or disregard and ultimately prove ineffective.
Right. Trying to openly communicate your feelings and the negative impact of their behavior can also be incredibly difficult with someone who is unwilling or unable to take responsibility for their actions. They might just turn it back on you.
Absolutely. While communicating your feelings is an option to consider, it's important to be prepared for defensiveness, denial, or even further manipulation. Often, the most effective long-term approach is to gradually distance yourself from the friendship, slowly reducing the frequency and intensity of your interactions without necessarily engaging in a dramatic confrontation, the slow fade. And perhaps most importantly, try to let go without guilt. Prioritizing your own mental and emotional health is not selfish. It is an act of essential self-care. You deserve better.
And the process of healing after ending a toxic friendship, that can also take significant time and conscious effort. It leaves a mark.
It does. Be sure to give yourself ample time to process the complex emotions that may arise: grief, anger, relief, all of it. Be patient with yourself. Actively surround yourself with positive and supportive people who genuinely uplift you. Lean on your healthy connections. Engage in consistent self-care activities that bring you joy, peace, and a sense of fulfillment. Focus on rebuilding your own happiness. And if you find yourself struggling to process the experience or establish healthier boundaries in future relationships, don't hesitate to seek professional support from a therapist or counselor. Recognizing and ultimately ending toxic friendships is a powerful and necessary act of self-preservation.
Making friends as a child often felt like such an organic and effortless process. You just kind of met people through shared activities and proximity. Playdates just happen. But as an adult, it can feel like navigating a whole different and often more challenging landscape. Why is making friends as an adult so much harder for many people?
There are several interconnected factors that contribute to this increased difficulty. First off, busier schedules and the significant reduction in free time due to the demands of work, family responsibilities, and other adult obligations leave less opportunity to spontaneously socialize and form new connections. Just finding the time is hard. We also generally encounter fewer natural social opportunities compared to the structured and inherently social environments of school, college, or even early career stages, where you are regularly surrounded by new people with shared experiences. No built-in friend pool.
That makes perfect sense. You're no longer constantly surrounded by a large pool of potential friends in the same way you were during those earlier life phases. You have to actively seek it out.
Exactly. Our evolving personal priorities as adults also play a significant role. As we mature, our core interests and deeply held values often become more defined, and we tend to become more selective about who we invest our precious time and emotional energy in. We're less willing to settle. There is also the increased fear of rejection or vulnerability that can make us more hesitant to put ourselves out there and initiate new friendships. It feels riskier somehow. And unfortunately, past negative experiences in friendships can sometimes build a challenge of trust when it comes to forming new connections. We might be more cautious or guarded.
It sounds like a confluence of factors that can make the prospect of forging new friendships as an adult feel quite daunting for many people. So what are some actionable tips for building meaningful adult friendships? Despite these challenges, is there hope?
The good news is that while it can be more challenging, it is definitely not an impossible task. There's always hope. Start by being intentional about making time for social interactions, even if it requires proactively scheduling them into your busy week. Put it on the calendar. Actively join groups or participate in activities that genuinely align with your personal interests and hobbies. Book clubs, sports leagues, volunteer groups, workshops. This provides a natural and authentic common ground for connecting with like-minded individuals.
That's excellent advice. Shared hobbies and passions can be such a fantastic and organic way to build initial connections that have the potential to deepen over time. Less pressure than just meeting randomly.
Absolutely. Be open to vulnerability and authenticity in your interactions. Allowing yourself to show your true self rather than a carefully constructed facade creates space for more genuine and meaningful connections to develop. People connect with realness. Don't be afraid to take initiative and reach out to people you feel a connection with. Invite them for coffee. Suggest an activity you both might enjoy. Be the one to make the first move sometimes. Remember to be patient. Meaningful relationships develop gradually over time, so don't get discouraged if initial connections don't immediately blossom into deep friendships. It takes time.
And the fundamental importance of simply being a good and attentive listener in your interactions can't be overstated, can it? Showing genuine interest.
Exactly. Be a good listener, genuinely showing that you value and are interested in their perspective and experiences. Ask questions. Follow up. Don't dismiss the potential of the digital world. Online platforms and apps designed for making connections around shared interests can be valuable tools for meeting new people, even if the goal is eventually offline connection. And finally, try to let go of perfectionism. Friendships don't need to be flawless or fit a certain ideal to be meaningful and enriching. It's okay if it's not perfect. It ultimately boils down to consistent effort, genuine intentionality, and allowing sufficient time for connections to naturally develop. The rewards of those meaningful adult friendships are absolutely worth the investment.
It's truly fascinating to consider how something as fundamental as friendship can be expressed, understood, and experienced in such diverse ways across the globe. Let's now turn our attention to friendships around the world and explore some of these fascinating cultural perspectives.
It really underscores the point that while the fundamental human desire for connection is universal, the specific ways in which friendships are formed, maintained, and valued can vary significantly based on deeply ingrained cultural norms and societal values.
What are some key characteristics we might typically observe in Western cultures, for example, like the US, Canada, or parts of Europe, when it comes to friendship?
In many Western societies, friendships tend to be more individualistic in their orientation, emphasizing personal autonomy and freedom within the relationship. They can often be quite casual and flexible, and individuals frequently maintain multiple, sometimes distinct and separate, circles of friends, work friends, hobby friends, neighborhood friends. There's generally a greater emphasis placed on personal space and respecting individual boundaries within friendships.
That sounds like it contrasts quite significantly with how friendships might be perceived and practiced in many Latin American cultures, right? Where it feels more interwoven with family.
Absolutely. In numerous Latin American cultures, friendship is often viewed as an extension of the family unit, deeply collectivist in nature and highly interdependent. Bonds tend to be very close-knit, characterized by deep emotional connections, a strong emphasis on unwavering loyalty, and the consistent valuing of spending frequent quality time together. Terms like hermanao, sister-brother, are often used to describe close friends, highlighting this familial connection. Much more physical affection often, too.
And what about East Asian cultures? We often hear about the significant importance of respect for hierarchy and the concept of social harmony in those societies. How does that play out?
Yes, friendships in many East Asian cultures, such as in Japan, South Korea, and China, are often significantly framed by principles of respect and social hierarchy, deeply influenced by philosophical traditions like Confucianism that prioritize social harmony and the importance of group dynamics. Friendships frequently form within more structured environments like school or the workplace, and the outward expression of strong emotions might be more restrained, with trust building often being a more gradual process. Concepts like giri in Japan also underscore a strong sense of duty and obligation within certain friendship contexts. Formalities and interactions may also be more prevalent.
And how do core cultural values shape friendships in the Middle East? Values like honor and hospitality seem key.
In many parts of the Middle East, values such as honor, hospitality, and strong family connections play a central role in shaping friendships. There's typically a very strong emphasis on mutual loyalty and the expectation of reciprocal support and protection among close friends. The act of spending significant time together is highly valued, and demonstrating generosity and care are important ways of expressing respect and solidifying the bond. Gendered expectations can also play a more pronounced role in how friendships are formed and maintained.
It sounds like this rich tapestry of cultural approaches to friendship can lead to both wonderfully enriching experiences and potential for misunderstandings and cross-cultural friendships, like assuming someone's being distant when they're just being culturally respectful.
Exactly. Differences in nonverbal communication, such as the interpretation of gestures, the appropriateness of physical touch, or the significance of eye contact, can be easily misinterpreted across cultures. Similarly, preferred approaches to conflict resolution, whether emphasizing directness or indirectness, can vary significantly. Even the typical pacing of friendship development, with some cultures tending to form close bonds more quickly than others, can lead to potential friction if expectations aren't aligned.
So what are some key strategies for successfully navigating these often complex cross-cultural friendships? How do we bridge those gaps?
It really boils down to cultivating a mindset of cultural sensitivity and maintaining a stance of open-mindedness. Be genuinely curious and actively open to learning about your friend's cultural background and norms. Ask questions respectfully. Make a conscious effort to be aware of cultural norms that might influence communication styles and social behaviors, without stereotyping, of course. Be patient and flexible in your expectations regarding the development and expression of the friendship, and ultimately, wholeheartedly embrace the cultural differences as an enriching and valuable aspect of the relationship. See it as a learning opportunity.
It's a powerful reminder that while our specific ways of expressing and experiencing friendship might differ across cultures, that fundamental human need for meaningful connection truly is a universal experience.
Precisely. Cross-cultural friendships offer a unique and invaluable opportunity for personal growth, expanded understanding, and a deeper appreciation for the diversity of human experience. They really broaden your horizons.
We've spent a significant amount of time discussing what we gain from our friends, but now I think it's important to turn the focus inward and consider, what does it truly mean to be a good friend? It feels like it extends far beyond simply being there during the easy and enjoyable times. It's about showing up.
It absolutely does. Cultivating good friendships requires active participation, consistently offering genuine support, building and maintaining trust, showing deep respect for the individual, and striving for mutual understanding. It's an active role.
Let's break down some of those key elements. Active listening feels like a foundational skill for being a good friend. Not just hearing, but really listening.
It is indeed fundamental. Active listening involves truly focusing your attention on what your friend is communicating, both verbally and nonverbally. Putting your phone down. It means reflecting back what you've heard to ensure accurate understanding, asking clarifying questions, paying close attention to their body language and tone of voice, consciously avoiding interruptions, and most importantly, validating their feelings, even if you don't necessarily share their exact perspective or agree with their conclusions. I hear you. That sounds really tough.
And supporting a good friendship isn't just about lending a sympathetic ear, is it? It requires actively providing support in a variety of ways, being proactive sometimes.
Exactly. That encompasses offering emotional support by providing comfort, expressing empathy, and creating a non-judgmental space for them to share their vulnerabilities. It also means being present and engaged, not just during their challenges, but also enthusiastically celebrating their victories and successes, being their cheerleader. And, crucially, it involves being consistent and reliable, showing up when it matters, keeping your promises, and building a solid foundation of trust through your actions over time, being dependable.
That element of consistency in a friendship really speaks volumes. It demonstrates that you genuinely value the connection and are committed to it over the long term. It builds security.
It does. Regularly checking in with your friends, even just a quick text, Showing up for both the significant life events and the smaller everyday moments, and respecting their individual needs for space and autonomy all contribute to that essential sense of reliability and dependability.
And I believe self-awareness plays a really crucial role in being a good friend as well. Understanding your own needs, your communication style, and how you contribute to the dynamic of the friendship. Knowing your own stuff.
Absolutely. Being aware of your own needs and boundaries within a friendship is important. Effectively communicating these needs and being willing to compromise when necessary is key. You can't pour from an empty cup. Recognizing your own limitations and actively working on personal growth areas that might impact your friendships is also vital. Maybe you're not the best listener, sometimes work on it. Furthermore, respecting your friend's personal growth and evolution and embracing the inevitable changes that occur within individuals and relationships is a significant aspect of self-awareness in the context of friendship. People change and good friends adapt. Ultimately, it's about fostering a relationship built on mutual understanding and reciprocal respect that allows both individuals to thrive.
So it really does require conscious effort, ongoing self-awareness, and a genuine commitment to actively nurture those vital connections. It's a practice.
It does. But the profound rewards of cultivating and maintaining those valued and nurturing friendships are truly immeasurable, worth every bit of effort.
To really bring home the incredible power and impact of friendship, I think it's incredibly impactful to briefly look at some powerful stories of friendship, both fictional and rooted in real life. These narratives can truly underscore the profound influence friends can have and hopefully encourage our listeners to deeply appreciate their own cherished bonds.
Absolutely. These stories serve as potent reminders of the diverse ways in which friends can profoundly shape our lives, and as you said, hopefully inspire listeners to reflect on the significance of their own friendships.
Let's begin with the timeless and universally beloved friendships of Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh. It's such a deceptively simple yet profoundly deep depiction of unwavering loyalty and unconditional love.
It truly is. Their enduring friendship beautifully highlights the significance of simple acts of kindness, the profound comfort of accepting each other's unique flaws and quirks, Pooh's fluff, Eeyore's gloom, and the inherent strength that can be found in genuine connection. They consistently offer each other unwavering support through both joyful adventures and moments of quiet contemplation, just being there.
Then we have the truly inspiring and remarkable story of Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan. Their extraordinary bond enabled Helen to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Just incredible dedication.
Theirs is a powerful testament to the transformative power of relentless dedication and the profound impact of a friendship built on deep mutual trust and unwavering perseverance. Anne's unwavering belief in Helen and her tireless support were instrumental in enabling Helen to connect with the world and realize her extraordinary potential. It shows what one person's belief can do.
And thinking about friendships forged in the crucible of hardship, the intense camaraderie and brotherhood between Audie Murphy and his fellow soldiers during the Second World War is an incredibly powerful example. Bonds formed under fire.
It vividly showcases the extraordinary selflessness, profound sacrifice, and enduring loyalty that can define friendships formed in the most extreme and challenging circumstances. It's a poignant illustration of true brotherhood, where the instinct to protect one's friends transcends even the most primal urges of self-preservation, watching each other's backs.
Then there are those unexpected and serendipitous connections, like the heartwarming story you shared about two strangers who forged a lifelong friendship on a train. Just a chance meeting.
That beautiful story wonderfully illustrates how even seemingly small and chance encounters, marked by simple acts of kindness and shared humanity, can blossom into deep and lasting bonds, providing invaluable mutual support during unforeseen times of need and throughout the subsequent years. You never know where you'll find a friend.
And even in situations of significant hardship and vulnerability, like the anonymous friendship that blossomed in a homeless shelter, we see the profound power of human connection cutting across circumstances.
That particular story poignantly highlights the remarkable power of compassion and the potential for profound mutual healing that can emerge between individuals from vastly different walks of life. demonstrating that deep and meaningful friendship can be born from shared humanity and vulnerability, transcending societal barriers. Connection is connection.
These stories really underscore the extraordinary beauty and lasting impact that true friendship can have on our lives. It certainly prompts deep reflection on our own cherished connections. Makes you grateful.
Absolutely. And we wholeheartedly encourage our listeners to take a moment to reflect on their own powerful and meaningful friendship stories, and perhaps even consider sharing them with someone special in their lives, or even in the comments.
So, as we draw the curtains on this deep dive into the multifaceted world of friendship, it's abundantly clear just how fundamentally vital these connections are to our overall well-being and our experience of life. They're not optional extras.
Absolutely. Over the course of our conversation, we've explored the profound importance of friendship, the compelling scientific evidence supporting its benefits, its crucial role in our mental health, the ways it evolves across our lifespan, the diverse types of friends we often need, its adaptation in the digital age, how to navigate the complexities of toxic friendships, the challenges and rewards of making new friends as adults, the fascinating cultural variations in its expression, and the essential elements of being a good friend, all illuminated by those powerful and resonant stories. We covered a lot of ground.
And the core message that truly resonates is that friendship's profound impact extends far beyond just the shared laughter and enjoyable moments. It's woven into the very fabric of our lives. It shapes who we are.
It truly is foundational.
So here's our call to action for you, our listener. Take a moment today to reach out to a friend. Even a simple message expressing your appreciation, thinking of you, grateful for you, can make a surprisingly significant difference in their day and yours.
And perhaps consider sharing this deep dive with a close friend as a tangible reminder of just how much their presence and connection mean to you. A conversation starter, maybe?
And if you found this exploration of friendship insightful and engaging, please be sure to like, leave a comment especially. Feel free to share your own meaningful friendship stories with our community and subscribe so you won't miss any of our future deep dives into fascinating topics.
Absolutely. We always value hearing your thoughts and experiences. It makes this feel like a community, too.
And our final thought for you today is this. Take a moment to truly appreciate those incredible friends who bring light, joy, and unwavering support into your life, and continue to actively nurture those invaluable relationships. They're precious.